Welcome to another exciting video where we delve into the world of UFC. Have you ever wondered how certain fights can change the trajectory of a fighter's career? Today, we will take a look at 5 of the most career-damaging fights in UFC history. These are the battles that not only tested the fighter's physical strength, but also their mental resilience, leaving indelible marks on their careers. Back in 2010, Gray Maynard was riding high on a spectacular 8-fight winning streak, marking his territory as a formidable contender in the UFC lightweight division. But then, he was pitted against the reigning champion, Frankie Edgar, at UFC 125. This fight would be the start of a saga that would have a profound impact on Maynard's career. The face-off at UFC 125 was nothing short of a war. Both fighters pushed each other to the brink, trading blows in a gritty 5-round battle that left both of them battered and bruised. The fight ended in a draw, leaving the audience and the fighters themselves hungry for a decisive conclusion. This led to a rematch at UFC 136, a fight that would be remembered for its sheer intensity and the toll it took on both fighters. In the rematch, Maynard and Edgar once again pushed each other to their limits. The fight was a brutal display of skill and resilience, with both fighters absorbing enormous amounts of damage. But in the 5th round, Frankie Edgar managed to knock out Gray Maynard, retaining his UFC lightweight title. These fights with Edgar were not just physical battles, but also mental ones. They shook Maynard's confidence and seemed to break his momentum. Following these fights, Maynard's career took a downward turn. From this point onwards, he went on to suffer a series of losses that further dented his once shining record.
Diaz waiting for Embark to step in. Nate Diaz has done it.
It's a stark reminder that in the world of UFC, success and failure can often turn on a single fight. A fighter's career trajectory can change dramatically after a particularly damaging battle, as was the case with Gray Maynard. These fights with Edgar were career-altering for Maynard, and he wasn't the same fighter he used to be. We're turning back the clock to the year 2011, when Junior dos Santos, a Brazilian powerhouse, became the UFC heavyweight champion after a stunning knockout victory over Cain Velasquez at UFC on Fox 1. Dos Santos, with his heavy hands and explosive power, was at the top of his game and looked unstoppable. But as we all know, the world of UFC is unpredictable and full of surprises. Fast forward to their rematch at UFC 155. This time around, Velasquez was determined to reclaim his title and avenge his previous loss. And boy, did he come prepared. In a brutal display of raw power and resilience, Velasquez gave Dos Santos a severe beating, reclaiming his title and leaving Dos Santos in a state of shock. The damage inflicted by Velasquez was not just physical but psychological as well. This fight was a turning point in Dos Santos' career, as it seemed to affect his ability to take punches in his future fights. The once invincible champion now appeared vulnerable, and his performance started to decline. One might wonder, why did Dos Santos, a formidable striker and former champion, find it hard to bounce back? Well, the brutal nature of the Velasquez fight had a profound impact. Often in UFC, it's not just about the physical strength or the fighting techniques. It's also about the mental resilience, the ability to bounce back after a brutal loss, and Dos Santos seemed to struggle with this aspect. This isn't to say that Dos Santos' career was completely over. Despite the setbacks, he remained a formidable fighter, demonstrating his resilience and commitment to the sport. However, his fight with Velasquez served as a stark reminder of how a single fight can drastically change a fighter's career trajectory. Now we're turning the spotlight on Ronda Rousey, the reigning UFC Women's Bantamweight champion, who seemed invincible until she faced Holly Holm at UFC 193. Ronda Rousey was a force to be reckoned with. Her grappling skills, combined with her judo background, made her an intimidating opponent inside the octagon. She was crushing all the contenders with her undefeated record and a dominant fighting style. It seemed like Rousey would hold onto the belt for a long time. Enter Holly Holm, the underdog in their fight at UFC 193. A former professional boxer and kickboxer, Holm was known for her striking skills. However, many believed that Rousey's grappling and judo skills would overpower Holm's striking abilities. The fight started, and to everyone's surprise, Holm managed to keep Rousey at a distance, evading her attacks and countering with her own. Holm exposed a weakness in Rousey's striking skills, picking her apart round after round. In a stunning turn of events, Holm knocked Rousey unconscious to become the new UFC Bantamweight champion of the world. This loss was a significant blow to Rousey's confidence. She took a year off and came back to challenge the new champion Amanda Nunes at UFC 207. However, the fight showed that Rousey's confidence was no more. She tried to strike with Nunes, a heavy hitter, and ended up getting smashed up in just 34 seconds of the first round. The knockout loss to Holmes severely affected Rousey's confidence. She didn't seem like the same fighter she once was. It's a stark reminder that in the world of UFC, a single fight can have a massive impact on a fighter's career. The defeat highlighted the importance of having a well-rounded skill set, including both striking and grappling abilities in mixed martial arts. Back in 2006, Chuck Liddell was the reigning UFC lightweight champion. Known for his signature overhand right and his ability to knock out opponents with ruthless efficiency, Liddell was a force to be reckoned with in the octagon. However, his reign was about to face a significant challenge when he was matched up against Quinton "Rampage" Jackson at UFC 71. In their much-anticipated match, Liddell was knocked down by a right hook from Jackson less than 2 minutes into the first round. Unable to defend himself against Jackson's relentless onslaught on the ground, Liddell lost the fight and, along with it, his title. This defeat marked a turning point in Liddell's career. Although he had always been known for his resilience and fighting spirit, the loss to Jackson seemed to have a profound impact on him. Some critics even suggested that Liddell had been partying in nightclubs the week before the fight, which may have affected his performance. Liddell, however, dismissed these claims, stating that it wasn't anything he hadn't done prior to his other fights in Las Vegas. Despite the setback, Liddell was determined to bounce back. He was scheduled to face Keith Jardine at UFC 76. However, in a shocking turn of events, Liddell lost the fight by split decision, marking the first time in his career that he had suffered consecutive losses. Liddell's career trajectory continued to decline as he suffered a series of knockout losses. He faced Mauricio "Shogun" Rua at UFC 97 and was defeated by Rua due to punches late in the first round, resulting in a technical knockout. After the fight, UFC President Dana White declared that Liddell would retire from fighting. However, the Iceman wasn't ready to hang up his gloves just yet. Despite his string of losses, Liddell still had the heart of a fighter. He came out of retirement in 2018 to target a third fight with Tito Ortiz under Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions. Unfortunately, Liddell lost the fight via knockout in the first round. Liddell's career in the UFC tells a story of a fighter who rose to the top, dominated the octagon, and then faced a series of setbacks. His decline was swift and brutal, a stark reminder of the harsh realities of the sport. However, through it all, Liddell remained a warrior, always ready to step back into the octagon, always ready to fight. His legacy in the UFC is undeniable, and he will always be remembered as one of the pioneers who helped bring MMA into the mainstream. Now we're talking about Renan Barão, a fighter who was known for his aggressive fighting style and was the reigning UFC bantamweight champion back in 2014. However, his fight at UFC 173 against TJ Dillashaw marked a significant turning point in his career. Renan Barão, a formidable force in the bantamweight division, was on a roll until he faced TJ Dillashaw at UFC 173. Known for his aggressive fighting style, Barão was a force to be reckoned with. He had a mixed martial arts record of 32 wins, 1 loss, and no contest, making him a very intimidating force in the division. The fight with Dillashaw was a brutal one. Dillashaw, known for his striking skills and footwork, put up a tough fight against Barão. The fight went on for 5 grueling rounds, with both fighters showing immense skill and determination. However, Dillashaw managed to get the upper hand, eventually finishing Barão by TKO in the 5th round. This loss was more than just a loss of a title for Barão. It marked the beginning of a decline in his career. The fight with Dillashaw seemed to have broken Barão's aura of invincibility and dented his confidence. Post this fight, Barão's performance in the octagon was not the same. The aggressive fighter that fans knew seemed to have lost his edge. It was as if the loss to Dillashaw had a lasting impact, not just on his career, but also on his fighting spirit. This, fight fans, is a reminder of how unpredictable the world of UFC can be. A single fight can change the course of a fighter's career, affect their confidence, and alter their fighting style. It's a testament to the fact that in this sport, it's not just about the physical prowess, but also about the mental strength to bounce back from a defeat. That's all for today's episode. If you found this insightful, be sure to hit that like button, share this video with your fellow fight fans, and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating insights into the world of UFC. Until next time, keep the fighting spirit alive.